All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Happy Friday. In today's live stream, we're going to talk about the power of a double. I think, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think most people try to hit a home run when it comes to investing. I think if the majority of people just focused on getting a double and and a safe double as well, right? There's some plays where you could get a double, but it's not as safe, right? It's relatively quick, maybe like in less than 3 months, right? You could get that double, but it's not as safe. For me, I think if you could get a double within a 6 months to a year, I think that is a safe. I mean, obviously, it could still be risky, but I think anything lower than that definitely is a red flag. And you should be aware of any investments that you can double your money less than 6 months, right? And I even think 6 months is pretty quick. But I think it's possible, definitely, to do it in 6 months, right? Depending on what asset you're getting into. So yeah, 6 months to a year is probably the ideal time frame that you should be getting your doubles in. And 2 years is not that bad as well. But I try to focus on strategies that are going to give me a double within 6 months to a year. Now, why am I bringing this up? Why am I doing a live stream talking about the power of a double? And it's because I found a chart, and I'm going to show it soon. And I've seen this chart before, but it basically is a chart showing a 30-day time frame, saying that you can basically double, like if you started off with a penny and you doubled it each day for 30 days, you would be a millionaire, right? Now, at first, when I first heard about this, was was in an after school program, and it was some old guy, and he always used to do like magic tricks for the kids and stuff like that. But then he would also tell us like some interesting facts and whatnot. And I remember him saying, yeah, if you took a penny and you doubled it each day, you would have over $1 million at the end of that. So that was pretty interesting to me. And I just recently came across the same chart, and yeah, I thought it was interesting to share because it basically shows you the power of a double, right? I think if people focus on just doubling their money, and I honestly agree with going all in. I know most people want to diversify. They want to be in mutual funds. They want to be in, ETFs and things like that. And that's good, I think, if you already built your wealth. But I think researching good assets that are on the rise and then just putting a good majority of your money in it. Maybe it's not all of your money, but like 75 to 85%, and just keep doubling that money, right? I think that's the best way to build your wealth. I don't think diversifying into multiple assets, multiple businesses, because you kind of just stretch yourself thin and you don't see the full potential of that investment or that business. That's just my opinion, right? So let me share this chart. All right, so we basically have a chart that's has 30-day chart, 30-day time frame, and you're gonna start off with a penny. So you see up until day 10, it wouldn't actually. I would say from day 1 to day 15, it would not be hard for the average person to keep doubling their money, and maybe even up until day 18, right? Because so at the end of day 15, you have 163 bucks. I think people can skip from day 1 all the way to day 15 pretty easily, in my opinion. If you have a typical 9 to 5 job and making minimum wage, I think you could definitely skip to day 15 pretty quickly. Now, where it gets interesting is day 16 to day 30, and this is kind of where the magic takes place. This is kind of where compound interest takes place, and you get to see the effect, the power of a double. So on day 16, or let's just go to day 15, you have 163 bucks. Now, going into day 16, you would double that and you would have $327, right? And then day 17, $655. All right. Uh, and so if we skip all the way to day, let's just say day 20, at that point you have doubled your money into $5,242. All right, and I think at that point, day 20, you're not going to be able to just double that initial penny, or the initial penny plus all that compounding interest, right? And it's really not interest, because there's no place where you can put a penny and it's gonna double like this. Maybe in the beginning, like I said, to day 1, day 15, maybe you can find something that's gonna do that for you. But like I said, when it gets to day 20, day 21, you're not gonna have people that are gonna be able to double $5,000. Now, if you're a person that knows how to sell items, maybe you're flipping watches, maybe you're flipping stuff on Etsy, maybe you're flipping computers, you might be able to do that if you're able to buy those items at like a wholesale price, and then just sell them on the market. But you would have to do a lot of volume, right? Because maybe you could buy something for $200 to $300 cheaper, but you can't mark it up. You won't be able to mark it up that $200-300. Maybe you can only mark it up $100 to $150. So yeah, I think day 20 to day 21 is where it gets hard for most folks. So what I would say, I don't think, just somehow doubling your money. I think what people can do, and I guess what I'm trying to show people, is with the chart. If you look at the chart, right? The chart, I think on day 24, at day 24, where you're at $83,886, I think people can save up to that amount, maybe within a 3 to 5 year period, right? This is not if you are just saving from your regular job, right? Most people can't save. And most people don't even have $1,000 saved. So I don't expect people to even put. I do expect people. Just because most people do it doesn't mean it's not possible. So let me correct that. I think most people can put away from their regular job, if you're making at least 50 to 60,000 and you're careful with what you spend. I think most people could put $10,000 away, and then. Right, so I said 3 to 5 year period. Let's just go with the 5-year period. That's $50,000, right? If you're able to put $10,000 away each year from your job, you are going to have $50,000. Now, I think most people can get another job on top of the job that they already have. So and what this is going to allow you to do is to save up that extra 30,000, 33,000 within those 5 years. And I think most people could do this. And this will skip the line you'll be able to skip the line to day 24 pretty quickly. In 5 years, saving $83,000, I think that's pretty good. I know that's definitely going to take some discipline, but most people, in my opinion, can do this because you can get raises at your job. But like the job you have should be giving you raises each year. Now, if you're younger, if you don't have like a corporate job, maybe that job that you're in doesn't give you a raise. But most jobs starting off, like from college and things like that, you should be getting at least a 2 to 3% raise a year. So that's an extra additional 5 times 5 years, additional 8 to 15% that you could stash away along with the $10K that you were putting away a month. And then if you get a second job, I really think people could save up to that $24,000. I mean that $83,000 on day 24. So when you look at it like that, most people can do that. So that means what? Day 28 is when you hit the $1.3 million mark and you become a millionaire, right? When you double that. So now what this require, like I said in the beginning, my investment strategies are do as much research as possible on the asset that I'm going to invest in, and then put a good percentage of that money. So maybe you don't put the whole 83,000, maybe you put 70,000 of that money into the investment so you could get that double. Your double from day 24 to day 25. Maybe it won't be 167 because you didn't put all the money in because you wanted to have some type of reserve, some type of saving just in case of an emergency. So you put $13,000 away, and maybe you have some type of line of credit just in case something came up. But that 70,000 you're gonna put in that investment. Maybe it's some type of stock, maybe it's some type of crypto, maybe it's a property. Obviously, properties are gonna take a longer time to flip. So my preferred investment would be some type of paper asset like stocks, like crypto, and look for something that could give you that double. And that's where the research comes in. So if you really think about it, if you do follow that and you put the whole 83, maybe you already have a emergency savings. Maybe you have a line of credit that can hold you over in case of an emergency. If you could save up to 83,000 bucks, you are one, two, three to four doubles away from being a millionaire, right? So, and when you look at it like that, it becomes so much more feasible. I think when people look at the million dollar number, it's just far fetched for most people because they don't break it down. They don't break down the numbers, and they think that it's just not reachable. And for me, like I said, you could skip all the way to day 24 in 5 years. And again, yeah, it took you 5 years to get to day 24, but still, nobody's just going to sit there and double a penny each and every day and try to find a penny or try to find a way to double that. It just doesn't make any sense. The way you break this chart down is you save up to day 24, you save up to that 83,000, and while you're saving up to that 83,000, you find areas where you could put that money to work for you and you could get that double. Like I said, the double needs to be fairly safe to the point where a lot of things need to go bad for that investment to go south. You definitely do not want to lose the money. I think that's the number one rule. Now, it's okay to lose some of it just in case maybe you're not totally right. But I wouldn't even say lose some of it. I would say maybe you don't get the double. Maybe you only get a 30 or 40% gain. That's a loss to me, right? In this scenario, the win would be the double. The loss would not be a negative, but it won't be the actual double. You won't get that 100% on your money. Maybe you get 30%. That's the loss. We never want to lose money. So whatever you're investing in should definitely bring you some type of return. Maybe you were just off and you didn't get the double, or maybe you were more on point and maybe you got a triple. Maybe you start off at day 24, you did so much research that when you put that $83,000 in, you got a triple. Now you're at day 26. Okay? And maybe now you have $335,000. And maybe you don't put all that into the next investment, but maybe you put $250,000 all into the next investment. You put $80,000 away into a savings account, and you get a double again. Now you're at $500,000, right? Now you're one double away from becoming that millionaire. And I think when you break it down like this, it's not that far away. It's going to take some sacrifice as far as building up to that initial $83,000. But like I said, that's just saving $10,000 a year, which is going to be hard for most people if you already have like kids or a family, or maybe you're just not used to saving money and every time you have some money saved, you're always going out and spending it. So you need to build that habit of being able to save some money and not touch it, and do that for at least 5 years straight so you can save up to that 83,000. Because I think once most people get to that 83,000 day 24, I think that's when the magic starts to happen. Because if you could get your first double, I think once most people get their first double, like if you were able to take that $83,000 and double it, I think your eyes would open for most people. And the hardest thing is going to be being able to let that money go once you save up to it. Because most people, they save up money. I know some people that save hundreds of thousands of dollars and they can have way more money, but they don't want to invest it because it took them so long to save up to that money, and they don't want to lose it, which is rightfully so. But I think I think honestly that's the hardest part, because I think the market presents so many opportunities to make a double, and even more than that. But I think the safer plays will get you the double in no more than 2 years. And if you could repeat that over an 8 year period, within 10 to 13 years, you could be a millionaire, right? So yeah, I think that's the whole time frame, right? It takes 5 years to save up to that 83,000, and then an additional 5 to 8 years doubling that up into that $1 million mark. And in total, it's about on the short end, let's just say 7 to 8 years, and then on the high end, 10 to 12 years. But the more you get, when you start to get, like, let's say you do save up, you do get save up to that 83, and then you double it to that million. I think at that point you're playing with bigger money, so your doubles are just going to be way bigger when you do them. And obviously, once you get to that amount, let's say you do get to that $1 million number, I think you're probably going to end up being a little more conservative, but maybe not. Maybe you still see, like, you're going to be, your eyes are going to open up to the double. And as long as you're investing in quality assets, you probably are not going to be scared anymore like you were when you saved up to that first 83,000 and you were trying to double it. Because I think most people, that the first investment, and depending on how it does, right? So if you invested all of that 83,000 and you lost a good portion of that, that may turn you off to the investment. But the most important part for that, I would say, is the research. You definitely want to know that what you're putting your money in is definitely going to bring some money back. Now, obviously, investments are not guaranteed, but you have people like Richard Fain's been doing this type of investing, as far as, like, well, he does more ETFs and mutual funds, but he's been doing it. People like him been doing it for 20 to 30 years. He does take trades like Tesla, Nvidia, Meet Kevin, all those people, Andre Jake, Jeremy. I think Jeremy is his name, but that whole finance group, that's what they do. They put their money in. They save up to a good amount, and they take decent sized positions so that when they double it, it's meaningful. Not saying you can't invest $1,000 and you get 2,000. It's not a good score. It is a good score, but you need to save up to a good amount of money and start investing that size amount of money. And for me, day 24. When you keep doubling your money up until 83,000, I think people should save up to that amount. And most people would say, "Oh, well, you're gonna wait until you save up to 83,000 to start investing." No, you don't. You could definitely start investing before that. Maybe you invest to get up to that 83,000. Maybe you already. Maybe okay. So let's say you start off. Let's say you have a job, and right now you have $10,000 saved up. Maybe you save your money. On top of that, you're investing that 10K into assets that you believe in, and you're doubling that to get to that 83. Right? But the trick is when you get to that 83, you want to invest in things that are going to double, and you want to put the majority of this 83 into that investment. Obviously, you do want to have an emergency savings. And that's why I said maybe you don't put the whole 83, maybe you put 70 and you get the double. You get a 140, 140 to 280, 280 to 560, 560 to a million. And then I say it like that, but obviously it's going to take some research. You're definitely going to have to know what you're going to invest in. What you're investing in definitely needs to have liquidity. You can't be investing in these stocks, these penny stocks, expecting to get the double. That's not what I'm talking about when I'm talking about getting a double. Okay? Like it's putting money into assets that don't have such a high market cap, but not such a low market cap where it's not a company that's doing well, but it's a company that has good liquidity, but still has room to grow. And usually you're going to find that in those growth stocks. I would honestly still consider Tesla an easy double right now. It's sitting at 165. Today, we just got a crash in the crypto market. So like days today, and you go into like these trading chat rooms and these cryptos. I'm not in the trading chat rooms, but I'm in the Discord for some crypto projects, and within that they have a market group within the Discord. And people, when the price falls, oh my goodness, everything's going to zero, this, that, and they end up selling positions, losing money, and just getting in and out of stuff. That's not what you want to do, but you definitely want to be in something that can move and give you that double. Like if I'm trying to get a double, I shouldn't be in something that's $2 trillion and market cap already. Now, NVIDIA might be an exception because NVIDIA possibly could be a $10 trillion company, but a company like Apple, and I'm not saying Apple can't grow, but I think they just started giving out dividends. So who knows? They are starting. I heard they did come out with their own AI chip. So it may have growth, but again, that's where the research comes in. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this chart because if you take a penny for 30 days and you double it, you will have $5.3 million at the end of that. And again, I think most people could skip to day 24. And when I say skip to day 24, I mean at least put 3 to 5 years. I think some people, if you're ambitious enough, you could probably get that 83,000 within 1 to 3 years. What if you can cut that down, that 83,000 down, and you can get that 1 to 3 years instead of 5? But I think 1 to 5 years, if really ambitious, obviously on the 1 year side, and then 5 years, I think most people could save up to 83,000 if you get a second job. And I'm talking about the regular 9 to 5 person, the person that just has a 9 to 5 job. You may have some kids, you may have a family, or you may be single. But I think 5 years, you could definitely save up to that 83,000, where you don't have to be too tight with money, but you definitely need to be focused on putting $10,000 away. Because I know for most people that work a 9 to 5, putting $10,000 away is definitely going to require some discipline, which most people don't have. So yeah, I think this chart is interesting. This is why I wanted to bring it up today. I think the power of a double is powerful, and if you do it right and you're careful with where you put your money starting on day 24, I think you'll see the magic in doubling your money. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Hope you guys have a good weekend. My the day in the life video is doing pretty good. I think that's going to be like an evergreen video, day in the life for the internal auditor. I just shot that because I don't really like talking too much about audit, but since that was my day job, I ended up doing a day in the life of an internal auditor, and that video is at 20K, a little over 20K. And I just, people come to the channel, subscribe. So I think that video is always just gonna get views. I probably don't want to do. I don't really like filming. I just did recently. I just did a day in a life video, and it's okay. I know the most recent one that I shot took me a day to shoot. The one that I shot that has over 20,000 views, it took me like a few days to. I don't know if a few days to shoot. I think I shot it all in one day, but it took me a while to put it together and edit and do all that stuff. So yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. So I appreciate the people subscribing from that video. And hopefully by the end of the year, maybe we can come out with some new edited videos. I'm trying to work on some other stuff, but right now I'm just gonna do the live stream and talk about things like this. Monday we do the market updates. Wednesday I typically pick some type of financial news article, and then Friday is kind of just a whatever. Like today I saw this, so I thought this was interesting. And since it was something that I saw before, back when I was in like middle school or grade school, I remember the after school teacher, the Lighthouse program teacher, talking about this. So it's interesting to see it again today. And yeah, if you double a penny each day for 30 days, you'll be a millionaire. But yeah, and I think most people, like I said, could get to day 24. Okay, but have a good weekend. I'll see you guys in the next live stream, which is Monday, and take care.